Well, it's your old Montana redneck here again, Bud Evans. I want to talk to you about something that's really important tonight that most people forget. And I have a question for you. Why aren't you self-reliant? Why are you so dependent on everyone else? Well, the most common excuses for not being self-reliant are why should I want to? I don't know how. Don't want to be. Too much work. I can't afford it. And so on down the road. Those are all just excuses. Yes, I understand self-reliance is work. You have to do a lot of things. You have to do planning. You have to decide where you want to live to be self-reliant. And you really have to decide what you want to do with your life. It's, all of that is what determines whether you're self-reliant or not. Oh my, I don't have all the skills I need to be self-reliant. That's a bunch of baloney. You can learn anything you need to do to be self-reliant. One of the big things in being self-reliant in the current state of the world, I believe, is gardening. You need to have a food supply. You need to have food storage. You need to be able to eat when the grocery store doesn't work, when the trucks don't run. All of that. You really ought to have some basic skills in home repairs. It doesn't make any difference whether you're self-reliant or not. You still need to have those skills. So those are something you got to learn anyway. You need to have some basic automotive skills. In other words, how to do the maintenance on your own car, how to change oil, how to make sure you can change a tire. I know so many people that can't even change a tire. So those are just some of the skills that you need to start out with. You'll find others that you need as you work into being self-reliant. But you need to start. And where do you start? Guess what? Planning. I wrote a paper some years back called The 3 Ps of Planning. There were 3 main categories in this: prayer, planning, and persistence. Now, the persistence is the big one that gets it done. You have to be decided to do it. And there's another P in there that's probably pretty important for me, and one I lack a great deal of, and that's patience. I have a friend that added that in when she read the paper. She said, yeah, you got to be a little more patient with yourself. Well, I'm not too patient with me because I like to get things done. That's one of the things that I do in life. Oh my, here comes the big one. It costs a lot of money to be self-reliant. Money. How am I going to have enough money to do it? What am I going to need? Well, if you buy land to live on, you're definitely going to have to buy the land. Now, I would recommend staying out of debt if you can, but buying land is probably the one thing that I believe you should go in debt for. It's the one debt that we have, and I'm working hard to get rid of it, but I haven't gotten it done yet. You're also going to need to buy some equipment if you're going to farm and do that. Now, a lot of that's available, used, and fairly cheap if you look around, but you may have to borrow some money to buy it. And then, if you decide you're going to have your own land and be out of town, you're going to need some reliable transportation, because you probably won't be able to quit your job right away anyway, or you'll need a job somewhere to make the money that you need to live. Now, let's get down to the most important thing in being self-reliant. That's mindset. Well, what's mindset? Mindset is a way of thinking that says, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Yes, I'm going to do it. I don't care how many people don't like it. I don't care how many people think I'm crazy. I'm going to do it. I just won't give up. I will have the mindset to be self-reliant. So don't forget it. Keep the mindset to be self-reliant. Now, I'll tell you something else. The government doesn't want you to become self-reliant. And you ask me, well, why not? Well, self-reliant people are pretty hard to get to do things that they don't want to do. You know, the old guy that's living out there on the 20-acre farm with a chain link fence around the place and all the food he needs to eat and the animals he needs and all the rest of it. And he's even put in a solar system to provide all of his own electricity. It's pretty hard to tell him what to do. You know, he's free from all those government adjectives that the entitlement generation have to have. Many of the government agencies, however, if you operate right and approach them correctly, can be a big help in becoming self-reliant. They just won't need to know it. Self-reliant people are hard to control because they are self-thinkers and they do what they believe is the right thing to do. Too many people just don't do anything. They just kind of wait for the world to provide for them. That's just not the way it works. Now, if you go back and look at American history, you need to read the Constitution. The Constitution is a great document, particularly the preamble and the first 10 amendments. Go back and read it so you get an idea of what America really is. I talked to some politicians some years back, a whole bunch of them. 56% of those politicians had not read the U.S. Constitution since they got out of high school. That I thought was pretty much a shame. So just read the Constitution. It'll help you understand where you're at. It'll improve your mindset, and it will make you a lot more self-reliant. Now, to be truly self-reliant, you must decide to do it. Nobody else can do it. You need to talk to your family or wife if you have one, or if you're just alone, consider it. Look at it very carefully. What do you want to do with your life? And how are you going to do that if you're dependent on other people? What is best for everyone that you're involved with, your relationships? What kind of neighbors do you want? Do you want to do it on your own? Do you want other people to help you with it? I'm going to tell you right now that being self-reliant requires guts. You have to have the guts to do it. You just have to do it. You have to decide to do it and not give up on it. Just do it.